If you're a busy family like ours and you only get about a week off from work and kids only get a week off from school, but you would love to go to further away places but are afraid that kids are gonna sleep for half the trip, then this video is for you. As a family physician and a mom of two, we travel to different places multiple times a year, and I'm going to go over 7 tips on how to combat jet lag with kids. First of all, what is jet lag? Jet lag is when our natural body rhythm, also called the circadian rhythm, doesn't match the local place. Basically, it's out of sync with different time zones. Our body responds a lot to light. When we are exposed to darker light, darker environment, a hormone called melatonin is released and it triggers our body to feel sleepy and to want to go to bed. On the other hand, when we are exposed to bright light, such as the morning light, it triggers the body to wake up and start the day. So this natural rhythm is related to the light-day cycle. That's why when we travel across different time zones, we get a little confused and our body clock gets a little scrambled. It's harder for kids because kids like routine, and when they go to different time zones, they don't have the same routines and they can't really drink caffeine to keep them up. So it is a little bit more challenging to combat jet lag with kids, but not impossible, and I will talk about 7 strategies how to make it easier. Tip number 1, prep sleep in advance. So for about 3 days before your scheduled flight, shift the bedtime routine by 15 to 30 minutes. So for example, if you're going to Europe, then put the kids to sleep by 15 to 30 minutes earlier each night. So by the time you are flying out, the kids' bedtime has shifted by about 1 to 1.5 hours. On the other hand, if you are flying west, you want to shift the bedtime a little bit later, by 15 to 30 minutes. So you put the kids to sleep 30 minutes later every night for about 3 nights before you go to bed. And the adjustment starts to happen just a little bit before you even get to your destination. It will make it a little bit easier once you get there. Number 2 is exposure to natural light as soon as possible. Light is the most important cue for your body to reset itself to the new time zone. So when you are flying east, you should go outside first thing in the morning when it's light outside and go for a walk for about 15 minutes or have breakfast outside. But go outside into the natural light. If you're going to a colder destination, they may not have as much light. For example, when we went to Tromsø, you can actually buy natural light with you. It's like a box, and you can expose yourself to that natural light to reset your body cues and your circadian rhythm. On the other hand, when you go to bed, make sure that the lights in your room are dimmed. There is no blue light from the iPhones or iPads, playing video games, none of that. Make sure that there's some calm for about 30 to 60 minutes before kids go to sleep with the dark environment. On the other hand, if you're going west, it's a good idea to be exposed to light in the afternoon because you would like to stay up a little bit later on as your bedtime has shifted to a later time frame. So if you're exposed to light in the afternoon, mid to late afternoon, it'll help you stay up a little bit later. Number 3, strategic naps. Naps are okay, but not long naps. When you are exhausted from a long travel and jet lag, especially with kids, taking a nap and letting your body recover is okay. But if you fall asleep and your body thinks, oh, it's nighttime, I need to sleep, it will mess up your circadian rhythm and it'll make the jet lag worse. So when you go to your destination, take about 30 to 60-minute nap, no more than an hour, then wake up, get exposed to natural light, get up and move, and then go to bed at the local bedtime. Number 4, feed the body clock. Eat on the local schedule. Even though you're hungry at 3 o'clock in the morning, try not to have a big meal. Maybe a protein snack, maybe a banana, but try to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner at the local time, even if you're not hungry. Hunger and food also gives, the digestion also gives body cues to reset to the local time. This is important because kids will wake up hungry and they will want to snack. Try not to give them anything sugary. If you're gonna give them something, it would be more protein packed or like banana, fruit, something along those lines. Along with meals, don't forget hydration. If you are dehydrated, such as not drinking enough water on the plane because you don't want to use the restroom too much, it will make the jet lag symptoms worse. So make sure you keep plenty of water, not as much caffeine, and make sure you eat at local times. Now, caffeine is okay if you have some of it, you take a nap and you need to function for a couple hours. Just don't have caffeine before bedtime. It can really screw up your reset to the local time. Tip number 5, consider melatonin. But before you give yourself or your children melatonin, talk with your doctor first. It is not for every person. There are interactions with certain medications and certain medical conditions. But if your doctor approves and you're okay to take it, it is a good medication to reset to natural time zone. Melatonin is, as I was saying, a hormone that our body produces in response to darker environments to trigger sleep. So if you take it in a supplemental form over the counter, it can help with the natural body cycle to help combat jet lag. This only works if you also combine it with the tips I mentioned before, such as light and eating at local times. Melatonin is not for regular sleep. It is meant to be used short term, usually 2 to 3 nights, and no more than 5 days. And it should only be taken about an hour or so before bedtime. Local bedtime. Do not take it at 3 o'clock in the morning when you wake up because you cannot sleep. Okay? It will not work. You have to take it before local bedtime. The usual doses for kids over age 3, you start with 0.5 milligram to 1 milligram of melatonin. Now, there are many products out there. Zarbee's is one of the more popular brands. They have chewables, they have even candy. Be careful with candy so that kids don't think it's candy, and store it in a safe place. And for adults, usually 1 to 3 milligrams before bedtime is okay. Doses higher than 5 milligrams are not as effective. And melatonin has the highest effectiveness if you cross more than 5 time zones and you're going in the east direction. Okay? But before you do anything, again, speak with your physician or clinician and make sure you do the other tips I mentioned, such as food and light, to make the jet lag go away faster. Tip number 6 is choose the time of flight wisely. And the second tip is take it easy for the first day or 2. So if you are going east, for example, and your kids are okay with sleeping on the plane, that pick a red-eye flight going to Europe. That way, hopefully you will sleep on the plane, or at least the kids will. I have a hard time sleeping on the plane, but my kids are fine. And when you wake up in the morning, it will be also morning in Europe or in the east direction. And then you can be exposed to the bright lights right away and hopefully start resetting your natural clock. If you are going westward, then consider a day flight. So you might have noticed that going from, let's say, Europe back to the United States, most return flights are day flights for that reason. So when you are flying west, let's say when we went to Alaska, we went to Vancouver and then Alaska, day flight is better, and then you sort of like push through and go to bed at the local time. It is much easier to push through and to adjust when you're going west than when you're going east, which is why melatonin can be helpful when you're going east. The other thing is when you are planning activities, you are spending so much money on different excursions, especially when you go to places like Europe. There's a lot to see. Make sure your first day is light. Do not have any big plans, any big trips, big excursion, museums. Take it easy. Go and explore the city on your own, wherever you are. Maybe go for a walk, a local playground, a local restaurant, something a little bit lighter. And then the second day, you can pick up more activities. And by third day, you should be okay because you're going to be exhausted. The kids will be cranky. They will be melting down and you will not be enjoying the first day of this very expensive vacation. Tip number 7, continue with the bedtime routine you have at home, even in different country, different place, different time zones. Kids love routine. And so whatever routine you have for bedtime when you're at home, whether it's shower or bath, reading a book, prayer, snuggles, take that and bring it to the new environment and do the same thing. When it's time to go to bed, again, you may shift it a little bit earlier. Like for example, if bedtime is at 8 o'clock, you go to bed at 7:30. Or if the bedtime is at 9 o'clock for your kids, you go to bed at 8 because they're gonna be tired. But keep everything else the same. Kids love routine, and that is their comfort zone. You may also pack their favorite stuffy, their favorite blanket, anything that keeps them comfort. And another thing that I use very regularly is a white noise maker because that sort of like humming sounds help us sleep better in new environments. So you may consider it a little one. I can post a link to it in description, like a really tiny one that fits on the size of the palm and easy to pack in a carry-on, and it's pretty powerful. But anything that you're using at home to help with sleep in the new environment. So there you have it. Those are my 7 tips of helping jet lag with kids when you travel to different time zones. If you do have any other tips for me to learn from or any other questions or suggestions, please leave a comment below. Also, if you would like for me to cover other tips, especially from travel, health, and wellness standpoint, from more of a medical opinion, I'm also happy to help. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.